Hey guys! I don't think you guys are ready for this video. So I got something in the mail that was super top secret, and I'm pretty sure that the product was revealed yesterday on like social media and stuff. So you probably have already heard, but Colourpop has foundations. That's right, that's right, that's right. No filter foundation. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, look at this, look at this. I have been waiting for this ever since they launched their no filter concealers. Everybody has been asking for this. This is a $12 foundation, okay? It is full coverage, long wearing, natural matte finish, 42 shades. So in today's video, I'm gonna be walking you through this foundation. This is going to be a foundation review. It's not a first impressions, and it gets better. Colourpop also released 2 different no filter powders. So they have their setting powder and their sheer pressed powder. The setting powder comes in this packaging. It's like a loose setting powder. You have translucent, banana, and medium deep. The banana is like that typical like yellowy powder. And then you have 6 different pressed powders. And you can use these to set your face, like to set your foundation, set your makeup. And then these are better for underneath the eyes. And I've been texting Jordan all morning to figure out what the price is of these powders because it's not on this packaging at all. And she hasn't responded to my text. Oh wait, they're bubbles, bubbles. Nope, never mind. I'm sure she'll respond before I put this video up, so I will leave the price of the loose powders right here, and then the price of the pressed powders right here. They might be the same price, I don't know, we'll see. Really quickly, I do want to say, I know I'm very close to Colourpop. Me and Jordan are very good friends. She works at Colourpop. And I have a lot of collabs with them. We do a lot of things together, but that will never ever sway how I feel about a product. I think because I'm so close to Colourpop and they know how I am, they know that I would never fake the funk, pretend to like something I don't like. And I think that they really appreciate that. They appreciate my feedback. I'm constantly always giving them my feedback, and I think that they like that, even if it's bad feedback, because I've given them bad feedback plenty of times in the past. Okay, so like I said, this is the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. It comes in 42 shades, and they sent me a bunch of samples and then 3 full-size foundations, depending on what they thought my color would be. And I've been trying this foundation out. This is actually the 3rd time I'm gonna put it on my face because I really wanted to test it out a couple of times before I gave you my opinion. The first 2 times I wore this foundation, I actually wore the shade Light 50, but I do think it is a little bit too fair for me, so I am gonna be mixing in Light 65. Actually, I might just wear Light 6, yeah. I'm gonna wear just Light 65. So this is what the foundation looks like. It comes in a glass bottle and it comes with a pump, which is awesome. The bottle is really, really nice. I love these stars. If you guys know me, you know I'm a squeezy tube gal. If I had to choose the best foundation packaging, I say it's a squeezy tube because I could drop this and it can break, and a squeezy tube cannot break. So, but overall, I do love this packaging. Mine didn't come with a cap, I'm assuming because it came in the PR set. I think that when you buy the foundation, it will most likely come with a cap. But the really cool thing about this pump is that it does lock. When you twist it back, it locks, and you can't click it anymore. So you can travel with this even without the top. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom you in and we could jump into the review. So the first time I used this, I used it with a primer I always use, and then I did half of my face with a brush and half of my face with a beauty blender, and I absolutely hated the way it looked with a brush. It looked a little bit too cakey, like, I don't know how to explain it. It looked like I had makeup sitting on my skin, and I did not like that at all. But when I went on to the other side and I applied it with a sponge, it applied so beautifully. I love how it looked on my skin. Because this foundation is a bit more full coverage, I would say it's like a medium to full, but you can totally build this up and get a full coverage. It does look a little bit heavier on my skin, and I have very dry skin. Maybe if you have oily skin, you might like the way this applies with a brush, but for me personally, a beauty blender is the way to go. A damp sponge. This one is actually brand new from Beauty Blender. I just bought this on Sephora. It's their new sapphire color. How cool is this color? I love it, it's so cute. It didn't bleed in my sink. You know how like the pink one bleeds everywhere? I don't like the pink one anymore. This one was good. For primer, I'm using my Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I can't wait for Colourpop to release a no filter primer. Is that what they're gonna do? That's what I think they're gonna do. It'll be cool if they could do like 2 different ones. Like one for your pores, one for like oily skin, you know? And then like a no filter like radiance one. That would be cool. Okay, so I'm gonna shake up Light 65 and then pump it onto the back of my hand. And what I was gonna tell you about this pump that I don't love, it's a little bit stiff, so you can't really customize your pump. Oh, wait a second. This one I can. I was using the shade Light 50 yesterday, and I felt like every time I tried to, watch, let me see if it does it. Yeah, you see? Did you see that? Every time I try to squeeze down, like it shoots it out, and it doesn't let me control the size of my squirts. I don't know, maybe it's just this one. That's not happening with Light 65, so. I don't like to dot this all over my face. I like to work in sections, so put it on the back of my hand and then go in little by little. And if you feel like you need to add more coverage, you can do that because you can add layers and it looks fine. It is really good coverage, but you can see my skin peeking through just a little bit. So I don't think it's too full. I would say it's less coverage than the Jouer foundation. It's less full coverage than the Urban Decay All Nighter, but it has more coverage than a lot of foundations in my collection. Okay, so normally I would be totally okay with that. That's like as much coverage as I need, but I am just gonna apply a little bit onto my cheeks just to build up the coverage a bit here, and so you can see. Which, by the way, I don't know the difference between this and the concealer, like formula wise. I will say that I've used that concealer as foundation time and time again. Even in the video where I'm reviewing all the concealers, I'm wearing the concealer as foundation, and I think it looks great. And I would say this kind of gives me a very similar finish, but it's a little bit more natural. The wearing the concealer as a foundation is a little bit more matte, but I feel like it gives me the same type of vibe, you know? Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see how this foundation looks on my skin. I think I did about 2 pumps, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does look a little dewy on my skin, and this does claim to have a natural matte finish, but in my opinion, at least with the Beauty Blender, it gives you more of a natural satin finish. This foundation is tacky, by the way. It's not the type of foundation that you're gonna apply and then it's just gonna dry down and you're not gonna need to set it. Well, I mean, if you have dry skin, you're not gonna need to set this unless you hate that tacky feeling. I really don't mind. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I don't care. It depends how I wake up. But just keep that in mind. Like, for example, my forehead feels pretty good. It doesn't feel tacky, but my cheeks do a bit, and that's probably because I added a second layer to my cheeks. Oh my gosh, another thing I noticed, okay, so when I was wearing these foundations in the past 2 days, that's why I'm doing this video today, because I am doing a wear test in today's video. I'm gonna show you what this foundation looks like at the end of the night. But the last 2 days that I wore this, by the way, I'm going in now with my Colourpop No Filter concealer. This concealer, as you would imagine, pairs so well with this foundation. It's like they were made for each other. I'm going in with the shade Light 20, and I'm just blending that in. This blends right into this foundation. It's like, oh, it sinks right in. They were made for each other. Oh, possible for the world to look this way forever. If you know that song, we're best friends. I completely forgot what I was saying before I started putting on concealer, so. I have horrible memory. Oh, I remember. The last 2 days that I was wearing this foundation, I was only wearing them for like a couple of hours, and then I took my makeup off to try out some other different stuff. So I wasn't wearing it throughout the entire day. I don't know how this foundation wears throughout the day, and it claims to be long wearing, but I don't really know because I wore it yesterday for about 3 hours, and then I wore it the day before. I went out to dinner and then I took it off when I came back. So I'm really excited to see how it actually wears throughout the day today, because it might look like a hot mess at the end of the night. Who knows? So now I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into some No Filter powder. I'm gonna be taking the Loose Translucent Setting Powder today. I used this yesterday with the Colourpop concealer, and then I used it the day before with a different concealer, and I really liked it. The banana shade is too deep for my skin tone. I tried to set my under eyes with this yesterday, and it made my under eyes like mustard yellow. I'm just gonna take this tapered highlighter brush. It's from Juvia's Place, and I'm gonna pick some up onto the brush, but then I'm gonna tap it off on the cap. This makes your under eyes look so smooth and airbrushed. With as dry as my skin is, this does not make my under eyes look dry at all. So as you can see, that really did mattify my under eyes, but it doesn't make it look too dry or chalky, which I really like. I was noticing yesterday when I was wearing this foundation, and I set it down and everything, I noticed that my smile lines took a lot longer to peek through, and I didn't notice them to look so crazy throughout the day. Usually, no matter what foundation I put on my face, it sinks right into the lines. And look at this. Look at this. I've been wearing it this whole time, this whole video, and usually by now, like, you would see some significant lines, and look at this. Like, I see it creeping up. I see it creeping up, but it's trying to resist it, and I can appreciate that. Okay, so for the sake of this video, for the sake of reviewing the No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder, I am gonna set half of my face with the powder, and then I'm not gonna set the other side of my face because some people set their foundation, some people don't. I'm gonna take the shade Medium. I haven't used Medium before. I used Light previously, and I felt like it was a little too white for me. I'm just gonna take the shade Medium on this giant fluffy IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm gonna dust that off, even though this powder doesn't really have any pickup or fallout. Just gonna take a little bit of that and just set my foundation down on this side. I like that you can dig your brush into the pan, but you don't pick up too much product and you don't apply too much powder on your face. I don't know, I really enjoyed it yesterday for setting my foundation. So I just zoomed you in so you can see my face before I go in with bronzer, blush, all that good stuff. This is the side with the powder. I'm gonna apply the rest of my face makeup, but I thought I would continue on the theme and just do like a full face of Colourpop pretty much. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished putting on the rest of my makeup. I felt like the bronzer and everything just applied smoother on this side of my face because I set it with the sheer pressed powder. So far so good. I will say the only thing I don't like about this foundation that I noticed is around my nose, it does look a little bit dry. I'm still very surprised that my smile lines aren't deeper. I feel like by now the foundation would have been sunk into that line. But besides the area around my nose, I say that's the only area of complaint, and just maybe a little bit in between my eyebrows. Those two are my trouble areas though. Basically at this point, this is where I would apply my setting spray. Like no matter what foundation I'm wearing, I always end it with setting spray. But for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna apply some today. But if you have dry skin, setting this foundation makes it look so beautiful. Like, oh, it's the finishing touch. But yeah, I'm really excited to have a new affordable foundation. I'm gonna come back at the end of the night and we will see how this wore throughout the day. Hey guys, so it is officially 10:06 p.m. and I've had my foundation on for about 8 hours now. I was waiting for 10 p.m. because I actually really want to take a shower. I went to sleep really late last night and then I woke up really early today, so I'm just like extra sleepy. But this is what my face looks like after 8 hours. There are a couple things I will say. Like all of my foundation is gone from right here. This foundation just fades from my chin really easily. I don't know why. The majority of the foundation around my mouth has disappeared, which is probably why my smile lines look fabulous. After so many hours, my smile lines would usually look absolutely horrid if I don't blend them in throughout the day, which I haven't all day today, and they look pretty freaking good. I mean, besides the fact that a lot of the foundation has rubbed off, but I mean, usually it would look way worse. I look a little bit dewy, especially here around my nose and in between my forehead here, which I never get oily there. I wouldn't even say it's oily because when I touch my face, I'm not oily at all, I'm very dry, but I look a little radiant. I'm afraid if you have oily skin, you might notice your oils really peek through at the end of the day. I hate not knowing because I don't have oily skin. I hate not telling you. I don't know how you would like it if you have a different skin type than me, but I really like how this looks right now. I mean, it looks pretty good after 8 hours, except for right here. I definitely have to play around with the face powder a little bit more and use it with different foundations and see how I feel. But the under eye powder, I really like. The loose translucent one, it's so nice. It makes your under eyes look so smooth and it doesn't make it look too heavy. The foundation I do really like so far. I'm gonna continue to use it, I'm gonna play around with it. And of course, I know this hasn't launched yet, but I'm sure it will soon. And I hope this video at least helped you make a decision whether or not you wanted to pick it up. Hey guys, okay, so ignore the weird pause on my face, but I just quickly wanted to come on here and tell you, it's been like 2 days since I filmed this video. I am editing this video on Thursday night, and I just wanted to tell you guys I've worn this 2 times after filming this video, and if I can rate this, like if I had to give it a grade, I would give it a B-. I don't want to give it a C because it's $12, it's cruelty free, there's a bunch of shades. I feel like it has a lot of good things. It doesn't really sink into my fine lines. It lasts pretty decent around the, like on the rest of my face, but I'm not giving it an A because it does fade around my mouth pretty easily. Like it fades off of my chin so fast, and I don't know why. It's very strange. Like on the rest of my face, I love it, but I don't love it around the mouth. I don't know if that's just my skin type or something. Maybe, who knows? But just wanted to give you a quick little update. Okay. Yeah guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.